Hey, hi, how are you? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever and wherever it is that you decided to watch this video, and welcome back to Count Out the Shadows, the series in which I talk about the mainline Assassin's Creed franchise all the way up to Assassin's Creed Shadows. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the 2011 Assassin's Creed Revelation, which, fun fact, was originally going to be a 3DS game called The Lost Records, I think it was. And you can kind of tell that this was originally meant to be a 3DS game. Not in like individuals and everything like that, but this game is clearly like the first victim of the franchise entering into a yearly release schedule. The game is not bad. It is a really good game. It is up to par with the quality set by Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, but it is just a tiny bit weaker. First of all, story-wise, the writing in general is good. It is the very best the franchise has been in, and that is thanks to Darby McDevitt. But in terms of length, this game does feel like the shortest of these four first Assassin's Creed games, and I don't know what it is that led to the length of this game feeling short. Maybe it's because this game also lacks in a lot of side missions in comparison to Brotherhood. Like, the factions don't get the amount of side quests that they got in Brotherhood. They only get like one or two. And the new introduction of the Master Assassin missions for the recruits, which is a system that I forgot to mention in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where you could recruit random civilians into the Brotherhood itself. They only get like two each, so there's like 7 recruits get missions, and those two get and they get 2 each. But they are also like very short in length, and they don't get that much of a story at all. They're just a means to get them to the master rank and to just make sure that the dens are clearly well defended, which is a new mechanic in this game, which I'll talk about in a moment. So maybe that's why this game also feels short, because the amount of side content is not there. But overall, quality-wise, the story is still good. Seeing Ezio in his final years trying to find a way to stop the Templars from reaching these artifacts left behind by Altair, and seeing the ending to Altair's story is it's one of the best parts of this game, just seeing Altair's story. And this game in particular makes Altair a very interesting and intriguing character. He is the best in this game, and he also has a proper accent in this game, because in the first game he for some reason had an American accent, like an actual full-on English American accent, and not the accent for the time period. So that is great to hear, and see his story is such a great one, and it ends in such a magnificent way. And this game's ending, out of the 3 games, it's the best ending. Just seeing Ezio finding Altair's corpse, seeing the very, very last moments of Altair's death, and then just seeing Ezio, like that ending speech. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. That ending speech that Ezio gives to Desmond in this story is such a tearjerker. And then just seeing this first civilization scene, this Isu scene, explaining what exactly happened, what is the catastrophe that ended the first civilization, and it's such a haunting visual of the end of times, and to warn Desmond that, hey, this that you just saw, this is going to happen again, and you need to stop it. It is such an amazing final moment. You have to experience it yourself. You have to see the scene. And speaking of Desmond, I think another reason that leads to this game's short length is that the modern day is barely present in this game. Like, you are in the Animus Island because Desmond's mind is so messed up because of what happened at the end of Brotherhood and because of his exposure to the Animus. So he's staying in this island, he's in a coma, and there's not a lot of stuff there. Like, this game is really focused on Ezio and Altair, and that sort of also leads to the problems of the length for this game. Now, in terms of gameplay, this is also another area where you can tell that it's the victim of a yearly release cycle, because there is not that much improved over Brotherhood. It is literally Assassin's Creed Brotherhood with barely any improvement at all. There's only like 2 things that are introduced into this game, and one of them is so minor but cool nonetheless, and the other is such an unnecessary addition that you have to wonder why it's even here, because you barely interact with it after it's introduced. And those 2 things are the hook blade and den defense. The hook blade is kind of cool. You know, this is also the first game to introduce zip lines, so you're going from one rooftop to another in a fast way through the zip lines. So that's kind of cool. It has some combat and traversal things as well. That's kind of neat, but you forget about it for a while. And den defense, it's tower defense, and it's literally after the introduction mission. If you play your cards right, which is very easy to do, by the way, you don't get to do den defense ever again. So you have to wonder, like, outside of just making it differentiated from Brotherhood, why is this here? And thankfully this is not brought back at all, but it's such an interesting addition to the game that's so easy to ignore that you have to ask, why even bother wasting development time on this feature? But yeah, overall, in general, Assassin's Creed Revelations is still a great game. It's still a very good game. But of the 3, it is definitely the weakest. Like, if I have to rank it, which I'm not going to be doing this, by the way, for all the mainline Assassin's Creed games, don't worry. But if I had to rank it, it's definitely Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Revelations, and then Assassin's Creed the original. That's the ranking so far, but it's still a good game. It's still, if you've played Assassin's Creed 2, if you played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, you kind of by obligation have to play this game just to see the conclusion to Ezio's story, which is a conclusion worth seeing. So there's that. But you know, that's Assassin's Creed Revelations, which, before I forget, you can also tell, Assassin's Creed Revelations does feel like a transition game. It feels like they are preparing for something bigger. You know, there's new facial text, there's new mocap tech, there's some cool like cinematic ways to kill. Everything feels more cinematic. But sadly, this game doesn't take full advantage of it. I wonder why. Well, we'll see why in the next video when we talk about the conclusion to the Desmond saga, Assassin's Creed 3. We finally made it to the next numbered entry, and what do I think about it? Well, you have to tune in to see why. But anyways, that's it for Assassin's Creed Revelations. Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this game? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the Countdown to Shadows series. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye.